Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Roxy Darling and I make videos of things that I create. In this video I am using some furniture legs and drawer pulls to make some home decor finials. I removed these legs and drawer pulls off of this dresser. I recently made a trash to treasure video and replaced the legs with these acrylic ones. Here you see me gluing the legs and knobs to a wooden round, and I'm doing that with two of them, and I am just prepping this mold to use some paper clay for details. I'm going to just roll the clay out and then smush it into the mold that I prepped with a release that is cornstarch. I'm using my little metal palette knife to remove excess clay, and I did that from the center towards the outside because in previous moments that didn't get caught on video, starting from one end to the other just pulled the clay up and out of the mold. I'm using wood glue to add this decorative trim to the bottom of both of the little, I guess they're decorative finials. I don't know. I've never made anything like this before. I'm just kind of making it up as I go, and I thought, why not glue these to some wood and decorate them and see what I come up with. And I made about 7 of these prior to gluing them on, just to make the process go a little quicker. So far, I've lined up the trim to where each end met, and I am using wood glue and water to smooth out any of the transitions from wood to clay and in between one trim piece to another. And I'm not trying to make it perfect at this moment because once this clay dries, I can fill in any cracks with additional clay. Now that matching trim has been added to the bottom of each finial, I'm going to fill in the gaps on the bottom parts of each of these with layers of clay. Once again, I'm using paper clay, and the reason I'm doing layers is I'm wanting to add weight to the bottom of these. You don't have to, but these would be top heavy if I didn't. But if you're going to make something like this, feel free to fill it in with paper or tin foil if clay is scarce and weight is not needed. You can see here I'm adding some wood glue, and I'm going to make a little, not a pyramid, a conical shape to begin making a clay rose. With each of the clay rose petals, I am just balling up some clay and smushing it, and I'm not trying to make the smushies, the technical term obviously, completely even, because rose petals, each petal, if you look at one closely, it kind of has a jagged edge, and so I'm just mimicking that. And so you'll see I'm putting a little bit of glue in, and then I'm wrapping it around, and each one is kind of overlapping the other. And I just do this in layers until I get the width that I'm looking for. get the rose petals to what I want them to look like, I use a silicone mold to make some leaves, and I repeat the same leaf mold around a couple of times. I think I do even up to 3 layers on this with the leaves. I kind of wish now looking back I only did 2 layers, but you know, hindsight's 20/20. And now you can see I'm adding more wood glue and I'm filling in this space with some clay. And yeah, I kind of did it just like I did the bottom part, and I'm going to add another layer to the bottom part again because I'm slowly filling it out. If I had done it all with clay, it would have been about 3 inches thick by the end, and it would have, one, taken forever to dry, and 2, cracked. So I just did it in layers. Here I'm adding more wood glue, and I'm using a more intricate and about a 3-inch leaf mold, and I'm gluing it to 1/4 of the, I guess, furniture leg. I measured it out into fourths and did 4 of those, and now I am adding just a little bit of plain trim to the bottom of the leaves to even it out and start adding some more structure to the piece. In between the larger leaf molds, I put some skinnier leaf molds, and now I'm going in with a large trim and spraying it down with water and curling it around the clay that I've already put down as the base. And in the next clip, you'll see that I've added another strip of the trim, and I'll go in and slowly start to blend the line. Here we go, in the line where both of the trims meet. I did spend a good bit of time going over and making sure all the detail was crisp and that the line blended in. I'm now using a cake decorating tool to press out some leaves, and I will use some water to press down any like jagged edges. And I have a piece of silicone that I've rolled up to lay over it, and I'm going through the veins and just kind of accentuating them a bit because there will be a few layers of paint and primer on this piece, and I don't want to lose the detail. So yeah, I'm just using anything round to lay over, that way when they dry curled, and I'm adhering them to the piece to begin with some hot glue. Just because if I used the wood glue, I would have had to found some support to keep them on. So I'm going to tack them on with hot glue. And I actually think it's industrial grade hot glue because I'm fancy. And then I'm going to go back through with some wood glue to give it extra support. After wood glue has been added, I'm going to add a layer of primer and let it dry, and then I'm going to start with the second finial by filling in the negative spaces, marking off some measurement, and then broadening the base with more clay because I'm going to add some trim to that bottom as well. Here you can see I'm starting to add details to the top of this finial. I have rolled out some little snakes of clay, and then I'm going to grab a ball stylus tool dipped in water to add the indentions to give the scalloped look. Now to sand down any spiky bits and just kind of, I'm almost kind of sculpting with this sandpaper as well because this clay is really easy to sand down. And now to add some primer to this one before I glue on the details, because You'll see in a moment, when I glue these details on, it would be hard for me to prime it. The details for the second finial will be made of teeny tiny flowers that I use a ball stylus tool to give them a bit of a curve. And I do this in, I think, 4 sizes. And for each one, I use water to make sure that there's no spiky bits on the edges. I did these in an array of sizes, and I put a hole in each one with a toothpick because I had originally planned to use what this is a metal head pin, and I planned to adhere beads to them, but I decided that was going to be a little busy, so you don't have to add the holes. But this right here, I am making the top decorative piece to the finial by using a head pin, cutting off the excess, using a hand drill to drill in a hole. I put the metal piece in to make sure it fits. I slide a teardrop shaped pearl with a large flower, make sure that everything fits before I grab wood glue, scoop it on, and adhere the top detail. Now I am gluing on each of the flowers. I'm starting with the larger ones towards the center of the furniture leg, and as they go towards the edges, I'm using the smaller ones. Just like with the last one, I'm doing the leaves and the flowers with the hot glue and then going back in and hitting the backs with wood glue for extra support. Off camera, I balled up some clay, just really teeny tiny balls. I glued them on, and now I am priming the whole piece. I didn't do anything special with those little balls, so I didn't put it on film. And I added them to the center of some of the flowers. Now I'm going to paint both pieces. This one, I'm obviously painting black, and the next one I will paint white. So I won't really show that one on camera because it being painted with primer looks the exact same as being painted white. And now it's time for final looks. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and if you are interested in what I create next, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so you'll be notified when I post those videos. I am extremely excited to hear the comments well, you know, read the comments because I've never created anything like this before and I really want to know what y'all have to say. And thank you for watching my video, and until next time, bye-bye.